Hey fellow Wargamers, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to look at the Norman Warband from Victrix for the Pillage Wargame. We're finally wrapping up the initial unboxing series for Pillage, at least for now, since there are more warbands and other plastic goodness coming for the game soon. If you're interested in other 3 warbands already released, please check the links in the description below. Like all other warbands, the sprues come in a zip bag, though there were no broken or bent bits. No bases are included, so you can purchase them separately from Victrix or use the washing method we explained in our assembly guide. As always, the link is in the description below. The layout of this warband is very similar to the Saxon one. We have 1 infantry command sprue, 2 infantry sprues, 1 crossbowman sprue, 1 cavalryman sprue, and 1 horses sprue. In total we get 32 miniatures. 22 melee infantry, 6 missile infantry, and 4 cavalry. The normal infantry command sprue allows you to build 1 chieftain, 3 standard bearers, and 2 musicians, though there is enough variety to build all 6 as regular infantry if you prefer. As we do a close-up for you to check the quality of the beast, let me do my usual rambling about this sprue. Right off the bat, it's quite difficult to figure out which body is supposed to be chieftain. Unlike the Saxon or Viking sets, there's no figure wearing a long cloak. My suggestion would be to use body CB1 plus CB1A, since he has the option to wield a mace, a symbol of authority back then. At least that was my logic when I nominated a model for chieftain. As you can see, the Norman infantry is probably the best equipped and armored among all the warbands we have reviewed so far. Not a single model in this sprue is wearing a simple linen garments, it's either chainmail or gambeson. A nice detail is the inclusion of hand axes, but there are no Dane axes, so you'll need to continue snatching those from your friends. Another prominent feature is of course the kite shields. Let's take a look at a couple of assembled miniatures. Here's the aforementioned chieftain for our warband. I'm not sure this is the most practical pose of striking an enemy. Here is a gambeson-clad warrior from this sprue with a spear and a kite shield. A slightly strange pose, I'd say, looks like he's just casually blocking incoming arrows. The Norman infantry sprue allows you to build 4 armored and 4 unarmored warriors with a variety of close combat weapons, except for Dane axes, so prepare to pillage some more from your friends. Time for another round of rambling. Personally, I'm starting to feel that I like the Norman Warband the most among all the sets released so far. They look like the most professional and well-equipped force, and you realize this cohesion in their armor and equipment actually makes sense. Another reason I like this set a lot is because it brings back memories of the game Battle Brothers, a hardcore, turn-based mercenary sim RPG. The armor in this set is pretty much what you are hunting for in the early to mid-game, probably the most exciting part of every run. One thing that I want to point out is that there are a couple of amazing Italian Norman helmets among the 15 head bits. If you're representing a Norman army during the English conquest and aiming for a maximum historical accuracy, I'd suggest abstaining from using these helmets. They belong to a different period, specifically the 12th century, and to a different theater of war. Here's our first example of an assembled miniature from this sprue, a chainmail-clad Norman warrior ready to hack and slash. I really hope I didn't mess up his pose. And the second one is an unarmored warrior, charging the enemy with a spear. There was only one slight problem with this model: his head is apparently too big for any of the helmets on the sprue. The Crossbowman sprue surprisingly allows us to build 6 crossbowmen. There are no archers or slingers in this set, so keep that in mind if you were planning to add some to your list. I think this is the first time in our Pillage reviews that we've seen missile infantry equipped in chainmail, not just one but half of them. The variety of beasts on this sprue is almost overwhelming. You can make your crossbowmen at the radio reloading. What I appreciate the most is that the crossbows have bowstrings. I don't even want to explain what a pain in the side it is to make bowstrings with fishing line. One tip: use plastic glue when attaching the arms to the body. Always dry fit first to figure out how they should align and only then glue them on. Here's our example of an assembled miniature from this sprue. To be fair, this is probably my favorite looking model from the entire set. Although there are 6 bodies on the rider sprue, we only have 4 horses, so I suggest you leave the remaining 2 bodies for future projects, or maybe the start of very small confused infantry units. Despite this being the second smallest sprue in this set, It is one of the most densely packed with different bits. The rider's body consists of 3 parts. To ease the painting process, I'd suggest not gluing the rider into the saddle right away. Prime and paint the horse and rider separately, and then glue them together. Like with the light cavalry we saw in our Saxon unboxing, you may notice some bits meant to build Arab warriors. Just keep them for future projects. If you need skirmishers for your Norman warband, there are javelins here to snatch, but personally for me, skirmishers are the last things that come to my mind when I think about Normans. There are also a lot of Italian Norman helmets here, but again, be mindful of the historical period you are representing. Here's our example of an assembled cavalryman. I believe this model can also be used as a chieftain, which is a very cool feature distinctive from the other warband sets. The horse's sprue surprisingly allows you to build 4 horses. You can find a close-up of this sprue in our Saxon Warband review, but otherwise there's not much more to say about it. Battle reports and painting guides are coming soon, guys, so stay tuned. As always, a like, comment and subscribe would be much appreciated. Thank you for watching and see you next time.